Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry, I've had a little bit of trouble with my computer this morning, so let's all pray that it's okay. But if I disappear at some point, apologies ahead of time, and I'll send you an email. Hope you're all well and keeping cool. Amazing weather at the moment. If you have a strap and a block, that would be great for your practice this morning. If you don't, doesn't matter. You don't need to use any of those props. You could use a scarf instead of a strap. And if you don't have a block, you could grab a couple of books, hardcover books if you like, but it's not essential. And I thought we might start lying down this morning. So feel free to recline. You can have the legs stretched out or feet stepped up close to the buttocks. If you prefer to sit, of course, that's fine to commence the practice. We might just begin by closing down the eyes and sighing the breath away 2 or 3 times as we feel ourselves arriving, bringing our full attention to this present moment. Just relaxing, softening the shoulders, relaxing the belly, softening the skin of the face. And beginning to direct your awareness away from the outside. And beginning to experience each moment from the inside. Each breath from the inside. So let's begin to focus on the breath as it enters and leaves the nostrils. And just be aware of what the breath has to tell you this morning. Noticing also how you are feeling. No judgment, just accepting. Noticing. And try to refrain from making any part of your current experience wrong. Just observing, witnessing. You might like to say to yourself a few times, may I learn to look at myself with the eyes of understanding and love. May I learn to look at myself with the eyes of understanding and love. The theme of this morning's practice is to be with what is. This may sound easy, but it can be one of the most difficult practices to work with. To accept, to surrender to how things are, rather than wishing certain things weren't part of our experience or our condition or our life. Perhaps even to turn towards what we consider to be the damaged parts or the broken parts or the imperfect parts of ourselves, and to pour love on these parts of us. One of my favourite passages on this is by the spiritual teacher Krishnamurti, who said, "My secret to life is that I don't mind what happens. My secret to life is that I don't mind what happens. And as Rumi shares in his wonderful poem, The Guest House, this being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honourably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. If we take note of Krishnamurti's statement and the last few lines of Rumi's poem, it becomes clear that we have the ability to flip our perspective on certain situations and look for the gift, even in the hardest of challenges. What can I learn from this? What is this teaching me? How can I grow from this experience? What is the gift? So as we commence our practice together this morning, I invite you to turn within and reflect on your ability to accept and be with what is, rather than trying to fix, fight, suppress, deny what is. You might even like to bring to mind one aspect of yourself or your current situation in life that has been causing you a great deal of suffering, and see if you can bow towards it, welcoming it into the vast space of your heart. It takes courage to do this, so please honour the process, honour yourself, remembering that your loving, accepting presence is the greatest medicine you can offer yourself. So if you've stayed in a seated position, I'll invite you now to just make your way down to the floor. And when you feel ready, we're going to draw both knees into the chest, cross the legs at the ankles, have a hand on each knee, and just start to make some little circles on the floor with your lower back. Good, and then come back to center, cross the legs the other way and circling in the opposite direction. And then come back to center and just have the feet stepped up close to the buttocks, resting the hands over your heart center. And let's come back to those words, just saying to yourself silently a few times, may I learn to look at myself with the eyes of understanding and love. May I learn to look at myself with the eyes of understanding and love. Now with your fingertips, just starting to tap all over the upper chest, around the sternum bone, just lightly tapping. You might move out towards the armpits a little bit, up towards the collarbones. Taking some deeper breaths now. Waking up the lungs. And then just lightly with your fingertips tapping your chin. And then under the nose, just above the upper lip. And then underneath the eyes, so just on the cheek, the top cheekbone. And tapping around your temples, sides of the eyes. And tapping on your forehead. Good. And then just release your arms down by your side. You can keep the legs bent or stretch them out now. I'm going to work with the mantra Shanti here this morning, with that idea that may we be at peace with what is. So we'll do 3 of these. We'll raise the arms overhead, and as we lower the arms, if you'd like to join with me, we'll chant Shanti. So exhaling all breath. And then breathing in. Shanti. 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 Let's take a resting breath there. And then find your strap if you have one, or don't worry if you don't have anything, or if you've got a scarf, you can grab that. Just step the feet up if they're not, and we're going to pop the strap around the ball of the right foot. If you haven't got any props, you can just interlace the fingers behind the hamstring, or holding onto the calf, or some of you might be able to reach up and hold onto your right big toe. Otherwise, we're holding onto our strap, feeling that our head, neck and spine are in a straight line. Looking up towards that right big toe. We're pushing the ball of the right big toe up towards the sky. And sort of play around with that. So if you sort of push more of you can feel, even experiment with pushing the sort of the little toe up towards the sky, and then try pushing the ball of the big toe. Just feel what happens in the leg, the hip, sort of more of an external rotation of the hip when the middle toe is extending up, and it's a slight internal rotation of the hip when we're pressing the ball of the big toe. Just keep the forehead soft, make sure you're not clenching the teeth. This left leg can be bent, or you can stretch that left leg out, just keeping the left foot flexed. And then find your breath here. Long, smooth inhalation and long, smooth exhalation. Good, and then let's very gently release that right leg down. And let's try the other side. So either holding the back of the leg or reaching up for your left big toe or holding onto the strap. So again, you can experiment, pushing more of the little toe up towards the sky and then press the ball of the big toe. I'm just aware of the leg and the hip, how that changes the action that's required in the rest of that part of us. Breathing here. Right leg stays where it is, or you might like to straighten that right leg. I listened to a wonderful talk on the weekend by the spiritual teacher Michael Singer, who wrote the very well-known book, The Untethered Soul. And in this talk, he actually said that the highest form of spiritual practice is to relax. He kept emphasizing, relaxing with whatever is. We can relax easily in the good times when things are going well, but to practice relaxing when the going gets tough, when things aren't the way we want them to be, when we are in pain. So, even in this stretch, if you're like me, it's not, I can feel a lot of parts of me here. So can we, in these, we can practice on our mat. Can we relax here? Can we soften a little bit? Can we surrender? And then we practice on the mat, and then we can take this out into the rest of our lives. Often when we, start to experience, whether it's physical pain or emotional pain, mental pain, we start to resist, we start to tighten, we start to grip, we start to cry out, no more. So what's being asked here is, can we actually do the opposite? Can we soften? Can we let go? All right, let's release that left leg down. Just stretch both legs out, give them a bit of a shake. And then we're going to do some leg lowers, a little bit of abdominal work. So if you'd like a bit of support for the lower back, just place the hands under the buttocks. Otherwise, your hands can be out to the side. So both legs are up towards the sky. We're pushing the heels up, the toes back towards our face. So we'll breathe in here. And as we breathe out, we're going to lower the right leg down. So we're trying to keep the legs as straight as we can. Heel can hover off the floor. And then inhale, we raise the right leg up. And exhale, we lower the left leg down. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, lower the right leg. Breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale. Now we're going to keep alternating. Those of you who want a bit of a stronger practice, you can start to lower both legs down together. Inhale, we lift. And exhale, we lower. Let's do one more to each side, or two if you're doing double legs. Tuck the chin forward so the back of the neck is long. When you finish, just draw the knees in, little rock from side to side. A little bit more abdominal strengthening work. So we're going to create a right angle with our legs. Have a look if you're not sure. Pressing the palms into our thighs, and we imagine we're pressing the feet into a wall. So I'm pushing my thighs away with my palms, and at the same time pushing my thighs back into my palms. Pressing the lower back down, the chin is tucking forward. So we hold here, breathing, make sure you're not holding the breath. When you need a little rest, you just relax, bring the knees in, perhaps blow the breath away. So we'll have two more goes at this. So you can go at your own pace here, pressing the thighs away and the thighs back into your palms. Breathing. When you need a little rest, draw the knees in, relax. And also show us the difference between a state of tension, tightness, and a state of relaxation. Okay, so one more. All right, so we'll work with a second variation of that practice. If you haven't done this before, you can have a look. So now we're going to place the right palm on the left thigh, and then our left arm is down alongside us. So we've got that nice 90-degree angle with the legs. As we breathe in, we're going to straighten the right leg and sweep the left arm overhead. So I'm still pressing the thigh away and the thigh back into that palm. As I exhale, bring the right knee in and lower the left arm. So we'll do two more of these. So breathing in, straighten the right leg, left arm sweeps overhead, and exhale, draw in. And one more. Good. Just draw the knees in for a moment, and then we'll do the other side. So left palm on your right thigh, right hand down alongside your hip. When you're ready, inhale, straighten the left leg, sweep the right arm overhead, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And last one. Exhale. Good. Draw the knees in, gentle rock from side to side. All right. Let's come back to center. Feet hip width apart on the mat, arms out to shoulder height. I'll work now with a gentle twist. Breathing in and lowering the knees over to the right side. Head may turn to the left. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. And knees over to the left. Head may turn to the right. Breathing. Let's do two more to each side. Breathe out. add on here. So gently come back to center. Exhale the knees in towards the chest. Now I'm going to take the legs up to the sky and chant Shanti here as they come back in. So breathing in, legs to the sky, arms up and overhead. Shanti. Feet to the mat. Inhale, arms out to shoulder height. Exhale, knees to the right. Breathe yourself back to center. And knees over to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, draw the knees in. Inhale, legs to the sky, arms up and overhead. Shanti. Lower the feet to the mat. Inhale, arms out to shoulder height. Exhale, knees to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Draw the knees in. Legs to the sky. Shanti. And exhale, lower the knees to the right. Inhale to center. And knees to the left. Inhale to center. Draw the knees in. Legs to the sky. Shanti. Adding bridge now, so drop the feet to the mat, palms down alongside your hips. Inhale, lifting the spine away from the floor, and exhale, lower. Inhale, arms out to shoulder height, and knees over to the right, head to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, knees to the left. Inhale. Draw the knees in. Legs to the sky. Shanti. Lower the feet to the mat, palms down. Inhale, lift your hips, lift the belly, and lower. One more of these. Inhale, arms out to shoulder height, and lowering the knees to the right. Inhale to center, and knees to the left. Center. Draw the knees in. Legs to the sky. Shanti. Into bridge. And lower. Just take a resting breath here. You might like to sigh it away. we're going to just quietly roll over to one side and come around into extended child pose. If you've got a block, doesn't matter if you don't, but you could even pop that down to rest your forehead on, different heights available there. Find your breath here. I'd like to share with you a beautiful quote from Eckhart Tolle. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Always work with it, not against it. Make it your friend and ally, not your enemy. This will miraculously transform your whole life. It's a huge challenge for many of us. Accept it as if you had chosen it. Right, let's work now with our hippie cat. So making some imaginary circles in the air with our hips. If you're not sure, you can have a look. So as we breathe in, we're going to come around to one side, leaning forward, and as we exhale, around to the other side. Inhaling around to the side, forward, and exhaling to the other side. Let's do 3 more. And then we'll reverse directions. And you finish coming up onto all fours. And we'll work with another variation of cat. So this time we're going to make circles, but we're coming over to one side, crouching down low, coming to the other side, and then pushing the back up towards the sky. So coming over to the side, crouching down low to the other side, push the back up. So 3 more of these. And then we'll reverse directions. Good. And then coming back to our start position. So working now with our cat twist. So we're going to place the right hand, the palm, underneath the heart center. And as we exhale, we're going to slide that arm under the left arm, bringing the right side of the face down to the mat. Left hand can stay where it is, or we're going to rest that left hand on the sacrum, or perhaps extending that left arm up. Now we're either looking along the floor to our left, or we might be turning to look up towards that left thumb. And breathe. So again, this is this is quite a challenging position to breathe. And it's a great pose for us to practice that idea of just relaxing into what is, being with what is, watching the tendency to tighten, to start to get stressed, to start to tense, to grip. Just try to soften and let go a little bit. Good. And then bring that left hand down. Let's come back to our start position. We'll try the other side. So left hand under the heart center. And as you exhale, sliding that arm under the right arm. So right hand can stay on the mat or come onto your sacrum or extend up towards the sky. Breathe. Good. Bring that right hand down. Come back and release into extended child and take a couple of breaths there. All right, let's come now into elephant pose. So take your hands mat width apart, your feet mat width apart, you're on your knees, and when you're ready, lift the knees, lift the hips, and we're pushing back. You might like to bend one leg and then the other. The legs are feeling quite tight and stiff. Otherwise, just holding still, fingers spread wide. Your head, being that the trunk of the elephant is very loose and floppy and relaxed. I like to blow the breath out through the mouth a couple of times. Feeling your strength to be with what is. Feel free to stay for another few breaths if you've had enough. If you're feeling a bit fatigued this morning because of the heat, feel free to come down and rest in child pose at any point. So we're all, once again, in extended child. We're going to work with a few flowing movements from child through into a low cobra and back into child. So staying down low to our mats as we inhale, coming along the mat, lifting, squeeze the elbows in, bend the legs and push back. Coming down low, coming forward, through, up, bend the legs and back. So let's do a few more of these. Tuck the elbows in and back. Breathing. The breath is fuel for our movement, for our practice, for our life. Good. Now the next time you come forward, we're going to stay forward and move into crocodile, Makarasana. So feet are at least hip width apart. You're pressing the palms of the hands together, resting on your forearms. Stay here for a minute or so, but feel free to come down into this position at any point if it's a bit intense. I'd like to again share another little quote with you. This one's from Rumi. Learn the alchemy true human beings know. The moment you accept what troubles you've been given, the door will open. Learn the alchemy true human beings know. The moment you accept what troubles you've been given, the door will open. When you're ready, no rush. Slowly come down if you're not already. Bring the hands alongside your chest. Inhale, lift up. Push back into child. Again, you might like to grab your block or make fists with the hands to rest your forehead down. And let's, in this position, chant very softly Shanti here 3 times. So breathing in. Shanti. Just remove any blocks back into extended child. Inhale up into cat. Tuck your toes down, face dog pose. Walking your feet towards your hands, so feet are at least hip width apart. Legs bent or straight. Lift up halfway as you breathe in. And lower down. So Uttanasana, now standing forward bend. Just make sure your shoulders and your arms are relaxed. You're not holding tension there. Your toes are relaxed. They're not gripping the earth. I like to sigh a breath away. And then we're going to bend the legs and come into Utkatasana, our imaginary chair pose. So extending the arms up, or just this, if this is better for your shoulders. Holding Utkatasana. If you'd like to challenge yourself a little bit, try lifting one foot off the floor. So a bit of a balance. And feeling your strength, strong legs, and then swapping over. Good. Take the arms up, inhale, standing tall, bring your palms together and hands down to your heart. Just resting one hand on top of the other over your heart space. A couple of resting breaths here. You might like to close the eyes. Just notice what's going on inside, how you're feeling. Let's come back to our chant, Shanti here. We'll work with this 5 times now. That idea of being at peace with what is. Inhaling, taking the arms out to the side. Chanting back to the heart. Shanti. Take a breath. Just release your arms down. We're going to do a little flowing sequence with a forward fold, a version of Uttanasana again. So let's breathe in, sweep the arms up overhead. And as we exhale, we're swan diving forward. So legs can be bent or straight. We're interlacing the fingers on the lower back. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, lower down. Let your hands slide down onto your legs or to the feet or to the floor. Lift up halfway and lower. Reverse swan dive all the way up. And hands down through your center. So let's do 2 more of these. Breathing in. Swan dive forward, interlacing your fingers. Now you've got 2 options here. As we lift up halfway, you can keep the arms where they are or take them out to shoulder height, which is a little bit stronger. And then exhale, let them come down to your legs or to the floor. Half lift as we breathe in. And breathe out. Reverse swan dive all the way up. And exhale. Last one. Swan dive forward. So again, either keeping the hands on the back or out to shoulder height. And exhale. Half lift. And lower. A swan dive. Resting the hands at the heart. And take a resting breath here. Right, doing quite a bit of leg work today and hamstrings. So this is another variation of Uttanasana. Some of you, most of you have probably done this with me before. You might want to grab a chair or do this with a table or a wall and not come all the way down. So I'll show you that as an option. So we're going to cross one leg over the other. So hands can go onto the hips and we start to come forward. Now, if you can't go down too far, that's where it might be good to have something like a chair or a table, and you can be in this sort of position or against a wall. Otherwise, some of you might let it come all the way down, fingers down to your legs or to the mat. So just find a way to work with this that is right for you today. Breathing. Again, think of that idea of, you know, when things start to get tough, challenging, difficult, notice the tendency to start to tense, to start to tighten, to grip, whether it's in the body or the mind or the heart. And at that moment, when we notice that's happening, we have the opportunity to relax and soften, or to grip even tighter. So there's a choice that we make. It might be an unconscious decision, but just be aware as you're practicing this morning. Am I tightening? Am I tensing? Or am I actually trying to let go and soften? So this is a really good stretch. If we're sitting a lot and we get very tight across the IT band, help to just release some of that tightness and stiffness and tension from too much sitting. All right, now let's very slowly and safely come up and uncross the legs, give them a bit of a shake. And of course, we've got to do the other side. So when you're ready, crossing the other foot over, might look quite different this side, hands onto the hips, slowly coming forward to the chair or to the floor. Find your breath. And then we'll slowly and carefully come up. And let's have a shake. We might this morning work with a warrior pose for courage, to connect with our inner courage to do this work, to move towards accepting particularly the challenging aspects of ourselves or our lives. So let's just come to the backs of the mats. Wind is fierce this morning, and we'll step the right leg forward, have your hips squared, facing forward. So a flowing version of Virabhadrasana 1. Pushing back into the outer edge of that left foot, release your arms down, shoulders down, relaxed, heart is lifting. Exhaling all breath. As we inhale, we're bending the right leg, taking the arms above the head. And exhale, hands to shoulder height. Turn the palms up, breathe in. Inhale, raise the arms above the head. And exhale. 2 more. together. And take the left leg forward. So hips are square, facing forward, shoulders relaxed, arms down alongside you, pushing back into the outer edge of the right foot. Exhale, all breath. So breathing in, bend the left leg. And exhale. Raising the arms up. Lower. 2 more. Step the feet together. All right, a couple more standing poses and we're coming down to the floor. This next one you might like to use a block or a stack of books, but that is optional, so don't worry if you don't have any props. So same sort of position as for warrior one. So we come to the backs of the mats and we're going to step the right leg forward, but it's not a very wide stance or a long stance. So the feet are probably a little bit closer together, but they are hip width apart to help you balance. Our hips are square, and that block or books might be just there in front. So this is a forward fold, quite a challenging one. We don't do this very often, but it's a beautiful stretch. So let's breathe in. I'd like to look up, open the front of the body, and as you breathe out, you're slowly tilting the pelvis forward, trying to keep the sacrum flat. You can even take the hands onto the sacrum as you come forward. Now this is where you might like to reach for your block. Some of you may not need to. You can come down and you might be able to bring your fingertips onto the mat. So just find out how you can work with this. You can even use a chair again. You might be staying up a little bit higher. You might be keeping your hands on your hips as you come forward. And breathe. Play around with the height of the block if you're using a block. Won't stay too long. So just have a little bend in that right leg to help you come up. And take that right leg back. And then let's do the other side. So we're going to take the left leg forward. So not too wide a stance. Feet are about hip width apart. Your hips are square facing forward. Deep breath in as you look up, open the front of the body. And then exhale, tilting the pelvis as you come forward. So again, we might check that the sacrum is flat here. Coming forward. Hands may go onto a chair or onto a block or perhaps to your mat. And breathe. Slowly and safely coming up. Release the left leg. All right, clearing everything off your mat. Final standing pose is a balance. So dancing Shiva. A couple of different ways we can work with this. I'm going to do it sideways. So we'll take the weight into the left foot to begin, and we're going to pick up the right and see if we can hold on to the foot behind the body. If you're feeling really wobbly this morning, you might be near a wall or have a table next to you, something to help you balance. If you're feeling steady here, then we can raise that left arm up. Now we can just stay here and breathe. Those of you feeling quite steady this morning and you want to take this a little bit further, we can start to lean forward, taking the right leg back into the air. Slowly come up. Release that left arm. Release the leg back into Tadasana. Take a breath or two. To the other side. And raising the right arm up. Staying here if this feels good for you this morning. Breathing. Like to go a bit further, leaning forward. Up. Release the arm. Release the leg. Take a breath. And then let's make our way down to the floor into a semi-supine position. So feet stepped up close to the buttocks. Take the arms out perhaps a little bit wider at this point in time. I'd like to sigh the breath away. Just allowing the body to have a well-earned rest at this point. Time to integrate, to absorb, to process what we've just done. Just being with what is. I'd like to share a couple more passages with you. This next one is from Jeff Foster. All suffering is an invitation into deep acceptance of this moment and of our vulnerability in the face of life. All suffering is an invitation into deep acceptance of this moment and of our vulnerability in the face of life. And this next one is from Byron Katie. Life is simple. Everything happens for you, not to you. Everything happens at exactly the right moment, neither too soon nor too late. You don't have to like it. It's just easier if you do. You can keep the legs stepped up close to the buttocks or now stretch them out along the mat, arms down alongside you. Just going to come back to our chant Shanti here, 3 rounds as we raise the arms overhead and then lower them down. So exhale all breath. Breathing in. Shanti. So we're going to move straight into Shavasana relaxation. Feel free to gather what you need to be comfortable, to be fully supported. If you wear glasses, you might like to pop those to one side. Now allow everything to feel as though it is where it is meant to be, where it belongs. Feel yourself sinking down, down, down. Allowing, accepting, softening, breathing. And in this quiet space, I invite you to visualize a heart-inspired symbol that represents a supportive, kind, accepting way for you to relate to what you are currently experiencing in your life. Allow your heart to show you a symbol that can support and nurture you and help you feel stronger at this time. And then keep your full attention on this heart-inspired symbol. Send your breath to this symbol. This symbol will enable you to allow all feelings and bodily sensations to be there without wishing them away or getting frustrated that they are there. resting, I'd like to share a couple more passages with you. This first one is from Ram Dass. Where you are right now in this moment, with all your problems, with all your if onlys, just where you are in this moment is the absolute optimal place to be from a spiritual point of view for your optimal growth. And this next one is from Eckhart Tolle. Life will give you whatever experience is most helpful for the evolution of your consciousness. How do you know this is the experience you need? Because this is the experience you are having at the moment. So just start now to deepen the breath and bring your awareness back into your room, into your physical body. Just deepening the breath, wriggling fingers and toes. I'd like to have a bit of a stretch. And then just rolling over to one side and just curl up into a little ball, hug your knees in. So I've shared quite a few quotes this morning, passages that can be quite challenging to hear. They've really helped me a lot. And I actually gathered all those passages from a talk that I listened to last week by a wonderful spiritual teacher called Mary O'Malley, and her most famous book is called What's in the Way is the Way. I love that thought, that concept. What's in the way is the way. And Mary gave an hour talk, and she shared a lot of those passages and more. And she's a very inspiring human being. She actually has a rare form of blood cancer, and she's on chemo for the rest of her life. She has it every day, and she's had a really challenging life in lots of, she's very open about sharing with her life. When she was younger, she tried to commit suicide 3 times. She was a compulsive eater. So she shares all of this when she talks and in her books. And she's a bright light in our world. And she's doing a lot of blogs at the moment and talks around just being at peace with what is, and obviously with her own circumstances. So very, very inspiring. So I hope you've enjoyed, or at least gained something from today's practice and the quotes that I've shared. Let's come up to sit, and we'll chant one Om to close our practice. Taking the arms out to the side, breathing in. Namaste. Thank you for joining with me this morning. Sending you all lots of love. Feel free to touch base with me if you'd like to have a chat even about today's practice or anything else. I'm always happy to have a chat. Send me an email or feel free to give me a call. Lots of love. See you again soon. Bye.